Okay, so it's just a bit of a warning. What I'm going to talk about now is mycancer and how it develops and effectively how it's going to kill me. I'm doing this just to raise awareness. If you really don't want to know, that's fine. Don't watch the video. Okay. So what I've got is pancreatic cancer. Now there are two types of pancreatic cancer. One I believe they can do something about, and then the one that I've got, which they can't do anything about, or more or less they can't. It's inoperable and incurable. Now the problem with this one is, I can't really point, but your pancreas about here and the cancer's up at the top end here. The problem with this one, it's like ovarian cancer in that it gives no signals. So those are the two worst you can get in terms of being able to do a lot about it, because you get no warnings, there's no signals, there's no feeling tired, no symptoms. So in my case, what happened, I got pancreatic cancer. Who knows how long it's been there, and it's just grown. Now what happens then is it grows to a size that it spits out cancer seeds, and they settle and produce secondary cancer. So, excuse me. In my case, the secondary, or first point the secondary went to, was the bowel. So I developed bowel cancer, and we got the first indications of that probably October, November-ish. I started to feel tired going to the back end of last year. I just thought I was working too hard. I started to get some aches around the stomach area around November-ish going into Christmas. They seemed to come and go, so I just thought, bad stomach. But I did book myself in to see the doctor straight after Christmas. Because I thought I got prostate cancer, because I started to have a lot of visits to the toilet. But they thought it was a urine infection. I won't go through all the steps, but we started chasing wrong diseases, thinking I got all sorts of other different things. It was only around April when I started to be violently sick and got rushed to the hospital that I did some pretty major scans and found the cancer. Oh, excuse me. So, and that's when they found it was pancreatic. There wasn't a lot they could do about it. Now the good thing is they can actually do something if they find the pancreatic cancer early enough. They can blast it with chemo. They can give you more time and quality time if they can get in there and get at it. And it has to be chemo. Radiotherapy isn't going to work on a pancreatic cancer. My problem is with chemo, it has to be a holistic treatment. It has to get all around the body. You can't localize chemo. If you localize chemo, you'll kill somebody because it's poison, and you'll poison them because it can't flush around the body and do what it needs to do. So the complication I had with me was that the bowel cancer had spread to such a degree that the bowel was blocked in certain places, hence the throwing up, because I couldn't get stuff to go through, so I had to come back out. So the only way they could go down the route of chemo was to unblock the bowel, and that's where the complication started, because the scans showed that it was going to be a tricky operation, and we got to the point where the only way they know if they could do it would be to operate, and if they went in and realised they couldn't do it because of the state that the guts were in, which they seemed to be indicating was probably where we were going to go, then I was practically going to be in hospital for the rest of my life, tubes and God knows what, and perhaps more operations, and it wasn't the way I wanted to go. So that's the way we decided to go down the let's go home. And you can see I'm having a great quality of life. I'd much rather this than be all tubed up. So how's it going to end? Basically, I'm getting less nutrients. The guts are just closing down. They're just the cancer's spreading. Less is getting through. Less is being absorbed. It means I'm getting weaker. I'm in no pain. I have days when it's not painful but it aches, and we have to rebalance the pain control and all that. But generally, when I'm in bed now, I'm feeling great. If I get up and walk around, I'm tired. So I try not to do stuff that I can't do, because that's sort of soul destroying. So I do the stuff I can do, and that builds me back up. And these videos are a classic. All the work I'm doing for charity, these are things I can do. So I stay within the realms of what I can do. So how's it going to kill me? Well, basically, I'm just going to get weaker and weaker because I can't take nutrients on board. At some point, either the bowel will lock up completely, in which case I'll just basically starve. That sounds a horrible thing to say, but basically I'll just get tireder and tireder. They'll slowly increase the morphine to keep the pain at bay, and I'll just sleep, and I'll just drift, and that'll be it. There's a slight chance that I may have something like a heart attack, because I get so weak. But chatting with the palliative nurses, who can give no guarantee, but they've been here time and time again, they don't think that's the way I'm going to go. They think it's going to be quite quiet and quite peaceful. So don't worry on that score. We'll have all the family around at the time. We've arranged beds and stuff, and there'll be a house full. Not a lot else to say, of all the endings, it isn't a bad one, Excuse me. So again, my luck's held out, what a blessing. And I get the chance to do all these goodbyes and everything. So, anyway. Pancreatic cancer, we've got to find a way to deal with that one, and ovarian cancer, because there are no signals. Although I did just read this morning on the BBC website that there's a urine test that may be able to identify early onset pancreatic cancer. I'm going to post a link to that by this video, because they're finding stuff all the time. And we will beat cancer one day. A good friend of mine, Vicky Fraser, wrote something in an email that I thought was brilliant. She said, "You have beaten cancer. You've already beaten it, because you are continuing to live your life, stuff cancer." She didn't use the word stuff, but I am. You're living your life. To hell with cancer. You're getting on with it, so you've beaten it. And that's what I want to say to you. If it happens to you or loved ones around them, if they continue to live their life on their terms, you've beaten cancer. Okay, so there you go. You know what's going on with me. You know how it's going to probably end. Just stick with me, and don't worry if I'm looking tireder and tireder when I do these videos. I am getting tireder and tireder, but I love doing them, and I am spending good quality time with Barbara. I'm doing these in the early hours of the morning. She's fast asleep upstairs, bless her. She has to come down, feed the cats, make me a cup of tea, go straight back to bed. So this is not eating into our quality time in any shape or form. That's sacrosanct to me. Bless you all, and see you in the next video update. Cheers now.